Welcome to Talk with Hana, your English learning podcast channel. Let's learn English simply and confidently together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk with Hana. I'm so glad you're joining us today. I am Hana.
And I am Josh. It's great to be back. And honestly, I've been looking forward to today's episode all week. It's one of those topics that I think every English learner is going to love.
Right? And you know what I love about recording these episodes? I always end up using the phrases myself later that same day. It's like a little reminder that English is really just about connecting with people.
That's so true. And today we're doing something really useful. We're going to go through 30 English phrases for everyday situations. These are real phrases that real people use every single day.
Yes, and by the end of this episode, you're going to have a whole toolkit of natural expressions you can use at work, at home, with friends, at a cafe, anywhere life takes you.
I love that. A toolkit. That's exactly what it is. So here's a question for you, listeners. Before we start, I want you to think about this. Which everyday situation feels hardest for you in English? Is it meeting someone new, making a phone call, or maybe small talk at work? Drop your answer in the comments. We'd love to know.
Oh, that's such a good question. And please do comment. We read every single one. Also, if you're not already subscribed to Talk with Hana, now is a great time to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.
All right, we've got a lot of great phrases to cover today, so let's jump right in.
Okay, let's start with the basics, but not boring basics. I'm talking about greetings and conversation starters that actually sound natural. You know, the kind you hear in real life, not just in a textbook.
Exactly. So the structure here is simple. You start with a greeting and then you add something that opens the door for more conversation. That's it.
Let's look at our first set of phrases. Phrase number 1, how's everything going? This is a warm, casual way to ask someone how they are. It's more interesting than just saying, how are you? And it invites a real answer.
Phrase 2, it's been a while. You use this when you haven't seen someone for a long time, like if you run into an old classmate at the supermarket. Oh my gosh, it's been a while, and they'll probably laugh and agree.
Oh, I used that one just last week. I bumped into a neighbor I hadn't seen in months. It came out so naturally.
Phrase 3, what have you been up to? This means, what have you been doing lately? It's perfect for catching up with someone you haven't spoken to in a while.
And phrase 4, long time no see. This is a classic. It's informal and friendly, and most English speakers recognize it immediately.
Phrase 5, fancy seeing you here. This one is used when you're surprised to run into someone, like if you see your English teacher at the gym. Fancy seeing you here. It's a bit playful.
Now, here's the thing with these phrases. You don't need to memorize them all at once. Just pick one that feels right for you and practice it this week. Which one do you like best? Let us know in the comments.
And now for some variations. Instead of how's everything going, you could say how are things or have you been. They all mean basically the same thing and they're totally natural.
You can also say, what's new with you? That one's great for friends and family. It signals that you're interested in their life, not just being polite.
Can you think of someone you could use one of these phrases with this week? A coworker, a neighbor, your English teacher? Go ahead and try it. I promise it works.
And the negative form, or I should say what not to do, is saying, how are you? And then walking away before they answer. That happens a lot, but it can feel dismissive. Use these phrases when you actually want to connect.
Great point. So to summarize this first section, we've covered 5 phrases for starting and restarting conversations. These work in casual settings with friends, neighbors, and coworkers. Simple, warm, and totally natural.
Okay, now let's move into the second group of phrases. These are for asking for help and responding to people politely. This is a situation every English learner faces, and having the right words makes all the difference.
Oh, totally. And there's actually a big difference between how you'd ask a friend versus how you'd ask a stranger or a boss. So let's look at both.
Phrase 6, could you give me a hand? This means, could you help me? It's polite, but not overly formal. You might say this to a coworker or a neighbor.
Phrase 7, would you mind? This is one of the most useful polite question starters in English. Would you mind opening the window? Or would you mind explaining that again? It's gentle and shows respect.
Phrase 8, is it okay if I... Another super useful one. Is it okay if I leave early today? Or is it okay if I borrow this? It's clear and polite.
Now for responses. Phrase 9, of course, no problem. This is a warm, friendly way to say yes when someone asks you for help. It makes the other person feel comfortable.
Phrase 10, I'm afraid I can't help with that right now. This is a polite way to say no or not right now. I'm afraid here doesn't mean you're scared. It means you're sorry.
Let me show you how this sounds in a real situation. Imagine I'm at the office.
Sure, go ahead.
Hey, could you give me a hand with this report?
Of course, no problem. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
See how natural that sounds? It's quick, it's warm, it gets the job done.
Now, first tip, when using would you mind, remember that the answer no means I don't mind, so I'll help you. It's confusing at first. Second tip, of course is more enthusiastic than sure, which is more casual. Third tip, if you want to be extra polite, add please at the end. Could you give me a hand, please?
Here's a challenge for you. Write a sentence using would you mind in the comment section below. It can be about anything, your life, your job, your family. We want to see your examples.
And the formal versions, at work or in a professional email, you'd say, I would appreciate your assistance with, instead of, could you give me a hand? Both mean the same thing, but the tone is very different.
So to review, we've covered phrases 6 through 10. These help you ask for help politely, respond to requests warmly, and say no without being rude. Keep those in your toolkit.
Okay, section 3. This is one of my favorites because these are phrases you'll use when you're out in the world, at a cafe, a shop, on the street, or on the phone.
Right, these are the phrases that pop up when you're not expecting them, and if you don't know them, it can be really stressful, but once you do, it feels amazing.
Phrase 11. Do you have this in a different size? Perfect for shopping, simple and direct.
Phrase 12, can I get the bill please? At a restaurant or cafe. Bill is the British English word. In American English, people often say check. Both are totally understood everywhere.
Phrase 13, sorry to bother you, but this is a great phrase for approaching a stranger. Sorry to bother you, but do you know where the nearest pharmacy is? It shows you know you're interrupting and you're being respectful.
Phrase 14, I'll be right with you. This is what people say when they're busy, but they want you to know they haven't forgotten you. If you work in any customer-facing job, this is gold.
Phrase 15, just browsing, thanks. This is what you say in a shop when a staff member asks if they can help you, but you actually just want to look around. It's polite and clear.
Let me add one for phone calls. Phrase 16, could you speak a bit more slowly, please? This is so important for English learners. Most native speakers speak fast, really fast, and it is completely okay to ask them to slow down. In fact, it's a very mature thing to do.
Yes, don't be embarrassed about that one. I still use it sometimes when people speak with a very strong accent I'm not used to. It's just communication. And here's the polite version for the phone. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat that, please? So gentle and natural.
Tip for politeness, always start these requests with sorry or excuse me when you're talking to a stranger. It immediately softens everything and makes you sound warm and considerate.
All right, I want to do a quick mini practice. I'll say a situation and you say the phrase out loud. Ready? You're in a restaurant and you want to pay. What do you say?
Can I get the bill, please? Easy.
Perfect. Okay, someone is walking toward you and you want to ask for directions. How do you start?
Sorry to bother you, but, and then I'd ask my question.
Excellent. Now you try at home. Say those phrases out loud. Saying them out loud is so important. It helps your brain and your mouth work together.
To review, phrases 11 through 16 cover shopping, restaurants, asking strangers, and phone calls. These are your survival phrases. Learn them and you'll feel so much more confident out in the world.
Okay, confession time. Even experienced English speakers make mistakes with everyday phrases, and we've definitely made our share over the years.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, mistakes are how you learn. So let's look at some common ones, not to embarrass anyone, but to help you avoid them and feel more confident.
Common mistake number 1, saying, I am fine, and stopping there. When someone says, how's everything going, and you say, I am fine in a very flat, robotic way, it kind of shuts the conversation down. The better response is, I'm good, thanks. How about you? That little how about you keeps things flowing.
Right, and here's the incorrect version versus the correct version. Incorrect, I am fine, and that's it. Correct, pretty good actually. I just got back from a trip. How about you? See how the second one invites a real conversation?
Common mistake number 2, mixing up borrow and lend. Learners often say, "Can you borrow me your pen?" But that's wrong. The correct version is, "Can you lend me your pen?" or "Can I borrow your pen?" Borrow means you're taking it. Lend means you're giving it.
Think of it this way. You borrow from someone and you lend to someone. The direction is different.
Common mistake number 3, being too direct when making requests. Saying, "Give me that," can sound very rude in English, even if it doesn't feel that way in your language. The softer version is, "Could I have that, please?" or "Would you mind passing that over?"
This is a cultural thing too. In many English-speaking cultures, politeness phrases like please, would you mind, and could you are not optional extras. They're just how requests are made. Without them, even simple things can sound harsh.
And mistake number 4, forgetting to add thank you or thanks after getting help. It sounds small, but a warm "thanks so much" or "I really appreciate it" goes a long way.
Here's a funny example of how wrong it can go. Imagine going into a cafe and saying, "Coffee, big, now." The barista would be shocked, but "Could I get a large coffee, please? Thank you so much." That's smooth. That's natural. That's real English.
Can you think of a mistake you've made in English before? Tell us in the comments. You'll probably help someone else who's made the same one.
The most important thing is this. Mistakes are not failure. They're data. Every mistake tells you something. And the more you speak, the fewer mistakes you'll make. We promise.
All right, it's time for our favorite part. Choose the correct sentence. I'll give you a situation and 2 options. You pick the one that sounds most natural. Ready?
And say your answer out loud. Seriously, speak up. Even if you're alone, it counts.
Situation 1. You haven't seen your friend for 6 months. Do you say, option A, "Hello, how are you?" or option B, "Oh wow, long time no see. What have you been up to?"
Option B, right? Option A isn't wrong, but it's very flat. Option B sounds warm and genuine, like you're actually happy to see them.
Situation 2. You're in a shop and a staff member asks if they can help. You're just looking. Do you say, option A, "No," or option B, "Just browsing, thanks"?
Definitely B. Option A is technically fine, but very abrupt. Option B is polite and friendly, and it actually gives the person a clear answer.
Situation 3. Your colleague asks for your help, but you're really busy. Do you say, option A, "I can't," or option B, "I'm afraid I can't help right now, but I can come back to you in an hour"?
Option B every time. Option A is blunt. Option B shows you care even when you can't help immediately. That tone matters a lot in English-speaking workplaces.
Situation 4. You didn't hear what someone said on the phone. Option A, "What?" or option B, "I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat that, please?"
Option B, of course. What can sound aggressive or rude? Option B is gentle and professional.
Now here's your challenge. Make up your own situation and write it in the comments. Tell us the situation and which phrase you'd use. We love seeing your creativity.
Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about sounding real. And the more you practice saying these out loud, the more natural they'll become.
Wow, what a fantastic episode. We've covered so much today. 30 phrases for everyday situations. Greetings, asking for help, out and about, polite responses, and avoiding common mistakes. You did it.
Yes. Let me give you a quick recap of the 3 big areas we covered. First, we looked at natural conversation starters, like how's everything going? It's been a while, and what have you been up to? Second, we covered polite ways to ask for help and respond. Could you give me a hand, and would you mind? And of course, no problem. Third, we went through real-world phrases for shops, restaurants, phone calls, and unexpected situations.
And honestly, these aren't just phrases. They're a way of connecting with people. English isn't just grammar rules. It's how people share moments, show kindness, and build relationships. And you're getting better at it every single day.
Here's a reflective question for you to sit with. Which of today's 30 phrases felt most new or surprising to you? Think about it, and then actually try to use that phrase this week in real life.
And if you want to keep learning with us, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps other learners find Talk with Hana. Share it with a friend who's learning English. Leave a comment with your favorite phrase from today. And of course, subscribe to Talk with Hana so you never miss a lesson.
You're doing such great work. Every lesson you show up for, every phrase you practice, every comment you write, it all adds up. You are building real English skills, one episode at a time. We believe in you completely.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It really means a lot.
We'll see you next time.